Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the THW NHL News and Rumors Rundown. My name is Jim Parsons. I'm here with HockeyWriters.com. It's Saturday today, August 21st. Got lots of stuff to talk about. Things have slowed down a little bit in the NHL, but there's still plenty of news to cover, and we're going to do that right now. Just a quick reminder, if you want to follow us on Twitter at the Hockey Writer, you can do so. If you want to go to thehockeywriters.com, check out the latest news and rumors. There's an article every day. And then, of course, the facebook.com/thehockeywriters. That page has got all the information and articles that we're going to be discussing here on the videos as well. So let's get right into it. Some big news of the week. Henrik Lundqvist, goaltender extraordinaire, veteran, Hall of Famer for sure, has retired from the NHL. He has called it a career. He's hanging up his pads. He says complications with open heart surgery and the risks associated with the reward of coming back. Just too much for Lundqvist. He's not going to make a return. But he probably will find another job in the NHL at some point, probably with the New York Rangers, who will be retiring his jersey number at some point in a game this season. He did say he was close to making a return with the Washington Capitals, but complications and chest pains, things like that, just made it impossible. So Lundqvist is hanging it up, and he won't be returning to the NHL or professional hockey for that matter. But it was a storied career and a really, really good goaltender who I'm sure will have a lot to give back to the game if he chooses to do so. Some rumors coming out of Carolina that Andrei Svechnikov is probably close to a deal with the Carolina Hurricanes. There's been multiple reports and conflicting reports about the term and dollar value here. Our Sports is talking about a 8-year, $8.75 million deal, but others are saying, no, that's way too high. It's probably not accurate. Maybe more like 7.5, could be anywhere between 6 and 8 years. But it does sound like a long-term deal that the two sides are working on and probably close to getting signed. So we'll see if anything comes out of that one. Joe Thornton has signed with the Florida Panthers. This isn't necessarily brand new news, but the information coming out of Toronto was that the Maple Leafs didn't even bother to talk to Thornton about an extension. They knew, and Thornton knew, at the end of the season it was a one and done. It was an experiment that failed, didn't really work out, and there was no real desire on either side probably to have him come back to Toronto this season. So he's moving on to the Florida Panthers, take another crack and trying to win a Stanley Cup, something that has eluded him for his entire career. Speaking of former Maple Leafs, Nick Foligno has said that the reason he did not go back to Toronto was because of the role that they wanted him to play. They were looking at him being more of a mentor than anything really related to on-ice production and contributing to that lineup. So he says he's chosen the Boston Bruins because they wanted somebody that was a little gritty, could add and produce for them at the forward ranks. He said he did check out the Minnesota Wild, maybe to play with his brother, but that he figures he can do later in his career. And he said that he talked to Columbus Blue Jackets' Cam Atkinson after he was traded and quickly realized that the Blue Jackets were not in contention for him either, and they were moving in a different direction. So Boston was the team that Nick Foligno went to. The other options just weren't really realistic options for him. There's some talk about Zdeno Chara and what he might do. Sounds like the St. Louis Blues at one point were interested in Chara, but multiple reports now are that Chara is not necessarily interested in the Blues. Not so much the Blues, but he wants to stay out east, whether it's Washington or another team like that. There could be multiple teams interested, but we don't even know if Chara is ready to return to the NHL yet. He hasn't made a decision on that one. So it won't be St. Louis, but he might return with a team, and there's going to be a couple teams that I'm sure are interested. There's talk about the Oilers. General Manager Ken Holland is eager to make more trades, and he's willing to do so early in the offseason, says Alan Mitchell of The Athletic. If the Oilers struggle early out of the gate, whether it's in goal or on defense or at forward, Holland's going to make some of those prospects and picks that he has available immediately. They've got a 4-year window here to win, and they expect this season to be a season that they're going to make a deep run in the playoffs. So he's willing to risk it all and put all his chips in on this roster that he's built and add to it if he needs to. Whether that's a person like Colton Parayko out of St. Louis, if the Blues struggle at all, whether it's a goaltender out of Dallas or somebody else, Hampus Lindholm out of Anaheim is another player that Alan Mitchell mentions. Not sure what the Oilers will do, but we'll see. Finally, Kevin Adams, the general manager of the Buffalo Sabres, reports are that he's looking at actually building his team long term. That he's thinking he's going to make a play for some really big free agents between the years of 2022 and 2025. Names like Patrick Kane, Leon Draisaitl, among others, are going to be potential free agents that are available to the Buffalo Sabres, and he figures maybe the young core will be ready to go by that time. Adding some big pieces, spending some big money to accent those young core pieces is the way the Buffalo Sabres will want to go. Whether or not any of those players actually want to go to Buffalo will remain to be seen, but that's Kevin Adams' plan, according to a couple of reports. So we'll see if that really works out for the Sabres and if that's a good idea or a good strategy moving forward. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us this week. Don't forget, check out thehockeywriters.com for the rest of the articles and everything else that we're talking about. And then, of course, we'll see you next week covering all your NHL news and rumors. See you guys later.